The Dewey Decimal System versus Library of Congress classification. A tale of two systems. The Dewey Decimal System and Library of Congress classification, or DDS and LCC, or just Dewey and LCC, are library classification systems. These are methods for arranging books in a library, usually using a call number, to aid research and retrieval. Both systems arrange books by subject, which begins the call number. In the Dewey Decimal System, the subject is indicated with a 3-digit number. In Library of Congress, subjects are indicated with 1 to 3 letters. Both systems draw the lines between subjects in different places and have some formatting differences as well. These are the broadest subjects in Dewey Decimal. As you can see, there are 10 categories, starting with 000, which is generalities that includes encyclopedias, all the way to 900, which is geography and history. Within each one of those 100 blocks, you can break it down further by 10. So for example, this is the 800s, literature, and you can see that it's broken down by region of the world. Finally, it breaks down into the ones place, and you can see this is specifically English literature, and each ones place indicates a different aspect of that. Following that 3-digit subject, we get a decimal point, which is sometimes just 1 digit, sometimes gets quite long. Following the decimal, there is a cutter number, which is a letter followed by a number, sometimes followed by another letter, sometimes followed by more numbers. It can reiterate for a while. So sometimes you'll see quite long cutter numbers as well, although in these examples, these are relatively standard. Following the cutter number, you might find dates, you might find volume numbers. Library of Congress. So already you can see we have a lot more main overarching subjects in Library of Congress. In fact, there are 4 different letters, 4 of them dedicated to history, C, D, E, and F. So you can see that once again, we start off with general works, which is the same thing as generalities in A, all the way to Z, which is bibliography, library of science, and information resources. Looking specifically at just one class, Q, we have a subclass breakdown. This is just like going into the tens place. We have QA. Q in general is science, but we have QA, which is mathematics, QB is astronomy, QC is physics, and so on. And then once we've gotten the letter subject out of the way, we can break things further down using numbers. And you can see that Library of Congress uses both whole numbers and decimal numbers. You will see decimals in this system, just like you did in Dewey. So looking at the call number in whole, of course we have that letter subject, of course we have that number, sometimes with a decimal point, sometimes not. Then we do have at least 1 cutter number. In many cases we'll have 2. The first cutter number is going to be preceded with a decimal point. After that first one, any other cutter numbers will not be preceded with a decimal point, but you should still read them as if there is a decimal. And then again, you might see years. Actually, I believe all of our books have years on them. You might see volume numbers, series numbers, etc.